Eric Dieters on Class X Radio. Good Monday morning to everyone. And as we all know, Mondays always suck. But we get through them together, right? Of course we do. I start my radio show off without my Enquirer in USA Today because some local establishment doesn't get them in soon enough.
What's up, Snowco on Buttermilk? Get it together.
They need to get with
What's the name of the place?
I think it's Snowco on Buttermilk.
Snowco. Never heard of that place.
Is that what it's called?
Sunoco, yeah.
Sunoco?
He's just
Snownoco.
Sunoco.
Never heard of Snowco. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, the biggest news in the country right now, of course, is not the presidential election, but some storm. It's amazing that when a storm is going to hit the East, New York and New Jersey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, everybody gets excited. But when it's just going to hit good old tri-state or something, the world doesn't get as excited. And by the way, Judy Schlottman, look at that.
Oh, did she get us a check?
250.
Can she? Oh, give her Oracle status. Can I do that?
$250
You
check.
go.
How do you like that?
I like that. Boy, she
Oracle
should
status.
get double Oracle status, actually.
I have all kinds of news to rock through, and I just want to start with some sad news. And that sad news is, and this is kind of bizarre. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but it's kind of bizarre. I have two clients who were tragically killed in tractor accidents. Craig Gruber, this is the man that I had the honor to meet and help clear his name in that Grant County football issue. He was a good, passionate, high-energy man, and he was driving a tractor across a bridge down in Falmouth. And, you know, the bridge collapsed. A beam apparently fell on him. He has a wife and small children, and I'd like everybody to pray for his family. I was honored to know him. I was proud of him, too, for his passion for football. And thank God he found me because I let him speak out to defend himself. His prior lawyer didn't want him to speak out. But Craig Gruber lost his life. And then another young man I'm honored to been called by his family to represent, a Preston Michael Trimble Wilson, 22 of Moscow, Ohio. He also died in a tragic tractor accident. And Chuck stopped up for me yesterday and met with his family at 1 o'clock. And, you know, we're going to do all that or Saturday, and we're going to do all we can to help them. But just tragedy on tractors. And I grew up on a farm where there were lots of tractors and drove a tractor. And to this day, I can't believe none of us were ever seriously injured or killed or anything like that. But it was sad, sad, sad. One thing about these storms, which kind of make me sick, is all the jackwagons that stand in the storms. Oh, look at me, I'm so brave.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, it's not only that, it's a waste. In other words, it's them trying to act like they're brave,
Bigger
and
than the
they're gutsy,
storm.
and they're down there in the storm, and all that good stuff. I wish one day Geraldo Rivera would just get blown the freaking away and we'd never see him again. That's just my personal opinion. Also, on some life observations, I can now let it rip. I resisted announcing this because I knew it was coming for a long time. Good self-discipline on the Bulldogs' part. If you live in and around Independence, Kentucky, we are going to now have the largest Kroger in the tri-state. A super-duper Kroger is going to go from 45,000 square foot to 123,000 square foot. How do you like that? And it's going on our property, which we're very pleased with. We're selling in the land. And you know what? I am sick and tired year after year after year of all the people out there telling me that Kroger's is moving, Kroger's is moving, Kroger's is going to go across the street, Kroger's is going here, Kroger's is going there. Well, they're going to all kiss my fanny. Kroger's is going on our property. Let's give Oracle status to Kroger's.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
I also want to give Oracle status to the Trimble and Ruber families, of course. And
awarded Oracle
yesterday was Family Photo Day, and it was cold wintry and blustery, and yet my wife and I and our kids, my son-in-law and my grandchildren braved it, and boy, did we get some great pictures, which I'll, of course, do
Where'd you
what
go?
all Facebook dorks do and post it on Facebook so everybody can see. And we always joke about these Christmas cards that we get, our front yard, backyard, side yard, neighbor's field.
Oh, okay.
We trespassed. One of the things that cracks me up is I can't believe how many people send these in Christmas cards like, hey, look at our perfect family. Well, our family's not perfect, but we're darn good looking. At least we were for the pictures.
I love those, though. Those are the best cards.
Nah.
No, I'm serious.
Can you send out a
Nobody's going to get a Christmas card of our family.
Really?
Sorry, we're going to disappoint you.
Nuh-uh, because those are the best kind. You open them up, and if it's not a picture of somebody's family, I lay it down. And I like start tearing them open because I want to see people's kids and their family.
Well, I'm happy for you.
No, I want a Christmas card.
Senator Rand Paul is one tough hombre. I got this to report. My father hosted Thomas Massey for Congress fundraiser Friday evening at his home, and I stopped in early, like at 5 o'clock, to deliver a check. My dad told me to deliver a check, so I did. And Senator Paul was a special guest, and he was having a private meeting back on the back porch with Senator Paul and Thomas Massey. And I went out there and talked to him. And Senator Rand Paul, this is inside political knowledge. Rand Paul challenged me to a cage fight for charity. Now, there is a tough, you look at Rand Paul like he's a little guy. He's tough. He may be an ophthalmologist, but I'm telling you right now, he's a tough little guy. So he challenged me to a cage fight for charity. So we got to give Rand Paul Oracle status.
So you're going to do it?
You've been awarded Oracle
I don't
status.
You better give me a traffic report before I run out of time.
Well, you know what? We do have a water main break that has East Pete Rose Way at Eggleston closed right now. So due to a large water main break. So you might want to avoid that so you don't head out in that direction. You know what? Everything else, guess what? Quiet.
Good. And, of course, Friday night at the Drawbridge, catered by McHale's, we had a great turnout of 250 to 300 of my closest friends, clients, and fans. The band was great, the food and drink.
Romos.
And costumes were great. You know, don't we really miss Garrett on the board?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not cutting it right now.
Don't we miss Garrett on the board? So
Jake
mark
will get it. Jake will
mark
get
your calendar next October for last Friday in October. And if you missed it, you need to come again. Jake, wasn't that a great party?
That was awesome. Thank you for that.
Denise, wasn't that a great party?
It was a great party.
That was a
My
good
daughter
time.
had fun.
And didn't Wiz do a great job with the 6-minute video that's up on Facebook?
Did.
He did a good job. By the way, your daughter was not that you weren't a hit, Denise, but your daughter was a real hit with
Or
Jake
hit on.
and his baking company.
I think
hit on.
everybody. Any male
They
there.
say, all of my stepsons, my son, my cousin's sons, my cousin friends and uncles, all would like to have a date with your daughter.
As long as they're all realize she's 17, she won't. She's
17,
jailbait.
she's not 18?
Wait, when she
She'll
turned
be
18?
December 19th.
Don't be waiting. Don't be waiting. Cameron and my son Parker commented that every Catwoman that was there was hot.
It's the Catwoman outfit. My friend
You
wore a
have
costume.
to be hot to wear the Catwoman
You
outfit.
have to. I don't know. There could be some big cats wearing.
But there were some good-looking Catwomen.
were.
And how about my wife as Sarah Jones?
That was the
Oh
best.
my gosh, that was hysterical.
was
You
so
were pretty good with that.
I told her if she had entered any of those contests, she would have won.
Absolutely. I mean, the hair. I asked her because she said something about because I had a wig on. She had extensions in, and I was like, "Oh my God, it looked real, looked great."
David
on her.
Broski came up to take pictures of her legs. David Broski's in love with her, but I don't feel threatened by Dave Broski.
Well, that's good. We're glad you
I
know.
don't think she'll leave you for.
No,
for
she's
Dave.
not going to leave me for Dave Broski. But anyway, Dave, maybe somebody else, but not. Sorry, Broski. I know you listen, buddy. I love you. But he kept taking. He goes, "Oh my God, those legs." He kept taking a picture of her, which was good because I've always told her she had great legs, and
There
she
you
tried
go.
to deny it. So
Well, there you go.
Well, now she was-
all the costumes are great. That guy that had the bed, the blonde that he
Oh,
got
yeah.
caught in bed with.
What about Sushi Cincinnati with the green
Sushi
water?
Cincinnati, green water. Dr. Kurtzman as Gangsta Man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There was what was that Tin Man looking thing? What was he called?
And how about Brandy the nurse?
Brandy the nurse.
and the Russian woman.
I didn't see.
She wasn't Russian, but everybody called her the Russian woman.
I didn't see Brandy the nurse till the
Contest?
costume contest.
Jeez. And there's lots. If I left you off, I'm sorry because there were some great. Now, I guess this is part of the Class X music we're going to start playing here.
Correct.
All right, this is called Young the Giant Cough Syrup on Class X Radio.
It's not
I
really
have
cough
no
syrup.
idea what it is.
Is it really?
Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know, I think the name Sandy is a kind of a wrong kind of name for a storm wrecking havoc. It ought to be more like Brutus or something. You know what I mean?
Sandy reminds me of Grease too much.
Right. Sweet and innocent.
Yeah. Although some Facebook friend named Sandy told me that her husband says Sandy's perfect
Wonder why.
for a hurricane name. How about the San Francisco Giants, who the Reds had down 2-0 coming home, beat the Tigers 4-3 in 10 innings, and here's the final call for
Romo's 2-2 pitch on the way. Cabrera takes strike 3 called, and the Giants have won the World Series in Detroit. And the celebration begins as the Giants mob the mound. Cabrera strikes out looking to end it.
How come the Giants have a better Romo than the Cowboys?
Won the World Series. They have swept the Tigers in 4 games.
I mean, I'm just saying.
In dominant fashion.
Dominant fashion. Yeah, I'd say it was dominant fashion.
That just sucks.
How do you get more dominant than that?
Could have been the Reds.
Sweep. I have one famous birthday that I have to mention from over the weekend. This was on Saturday. My man, Theodore Roosevelt's birthday. You gotta love Theodore. T.R.
Yep.
Today in history, the first ballpoint pen went on sale 57 years after it was patented. I mean, somebody else benefited from that. 1947, Happy Chandler resigned as U.S. Senator, but remained as a baseball commissioner. Muhammad Ali, first professional fight, he beat Toonie Hansucker.
Toonie Hansucker.
That's what that's what William said. That's what William wrote. It's probably Tommy, but he's got Toonie.
Toonie Hansucker.
And 6 rounds. 1982, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson released this song. Oh, it's so sweet.
So pretty.
We're going to get an FCC violation for playing this on this rock. Enough.
That was painful.
God, that was painful. 1998, 77-year-old John Glenn became the oldest person to go into space. It's a shame we couldn't ship him back there in space before he cut the Obama commercial. Let me see. The rest is stupid. Today's famous birthdays. Let's see. Winona Ryder. She's probably going to go out and shoplift and celebrate today. She's 41. Kate Jackson, the ugliest Charlie's Angel, but we still love her, 64. Richard Dreyfuss, great actor, terrible liberal, 65. And Bob Ross. Who the hell was Bob Ross?
Bob Ross.
I'm told we have a clip.
Right up in here, we'll make a happy little cloud.
He's the guy that painted. You know, with the afro.
Oh, yeah, the guy paying the afro. I've seen him on Saturday.
Happy Clouds.
Yeah,
Happy
Happy Clouds.
Trees.
Play that again.
Now, right up in here, we'll make a happy little cloud.
Oh, my God. Jeez, oh, Pete.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, come on.
No,
I've seen
I
him
don't.
on Saturday
I don't.
morning.
Yeah,
I might have to
kinda
pull him up.
Yeah.
National Oatmeal Day.
Oh, I was going
TC
to
will
bring
be
you
happy.
oatmeal.
He eats oatmeal every day.
It's
I
good
tell you
for
what,
you.
you bring me oatmeal, I'll eat it. Laugh suddenly for no reason a lot today day. Hide
We
from,
do that all day long anyway, don't we?
Hide from everyone day. National Disgusting Little Pumpkin-Shaped Candies Day. What
did
in
they
the hell?
come up
How
with
did I
this?
get a day?
I was wondering about this too.
I know. I was actually going to,
Aren't
if
those
I've
just
gotten
the
up.
candy corn shaped like pumpkins?
I don't know.
Well, candy
They got
corns
their
are
own
shaped
day.
like
Hermit Day and National Frankenstein Day.
Hermit Day.
Hermit Day. Sad to report 2 military deaths. Army Staff Sergeant Kashif M. Miman and Army Sergeant Clinton K. Ruiz, 22, both lost their lives in Afghanistan. God bless them. God bless the military. God bless the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, and all those who have fought and lost their lives in Afghanistan. Today's weather, mostly cloudy, high 52, low at 36. Monday, apparently overnight, there's a chance for a little snow sprinkling east of Cincinnati. Monday, see Rich Apuso, we really don't need you. Just kidding, Rich. Monday, cloudy, windy, And then we'll see what happens on Tuesday. You got a traffic report for us, Denise?
Well, apparently they reopened Pete Rose Way, but maybe have some lane blockages down there. So that's Pete Rose Way at Eggleston, and that's due to a water main break.
And I've had some lane blockages before. God, it hurts.
Have you had some blockages?
Yeah.
Did they clear up okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. The rest of the traffic looking pretty good, starting to pick up. But other than that, we're not going to complain. At least we're not going to complain because we're sitting in here.
Oh, my God. Listen to this.
Okay.
We got to jackwagon these people, but Jeff Goodby and Rich Silverstein, obviously two liberal Jewish people.
You jackwagon?
Produce an anti-Romney video. The song begins, "Imagine an America where strip mines are fun and free, where gays can be fixed and sick people just die, and oil fills the sea." With children singing that. Give them another
What?
jackwagon.
You jackwagon? You jackwagon?
That's a triple jackway.
David Axelrod and Obama campaign, they fear Hurricane Sandy could reduce voter turnout and hurt Obama's reelection chances. Well, that's a good thing, Axelrod. What are you worried about?
Unbelievable.
Jeez, old Pete. Saudi King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Saudi King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz.
Where do we get all these names today, anyway?
Demanding a UN resolution condemning insults on monotheistic religions due to the anti-Muslim video produced in the U.S. He said, "It's our duty that of every Muslim to protect Islam and defend the prophets." Well, it's our freaking duty to blow you off the freaking face of the earth.
You jackwagon?
Jeez, old Pete. San Francisco Giants, let's give them Oracle status. They're the champs.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Hey, Billy Idol. He played a fan's birthday party in Seattle. The fans' cover band had raised thousands for charity, and Idol said playing the party might help fans. By the way, I got to give it up. The week before, Get the Lead Out was awesome.
They were.
And I want to tell you right now, these guys were a little shorter and younger than Get the Lead Out, but Winds of Thor rocked Led Zeppelin,
They
too.
did. They were pretty
good.
good.
They were
Surprising.
good. And Robert Plant got drunker than hell.
Oh,
By the time
he?
the show was over, oh, my God, we had to, like, walk him all the way from the microphone.
My daughter did complain about that, though.
What?
A teenage girl. She's like, you can't dance to this stuff.
I know. We had the DJ play, of course, at the break. And next year, we're going to have more DJ, less band.
Yeah.
When's a Thor's for a field party?
Well,
Can you tell your daughter to come back next year, and she'll be 18.
Yeah,
she'll be.
And she can choose. You know what we'll do in the middle of the Halloween party? We'll have your daughter play. What's that dating game? The dating game.
Yeah.
And we'll have
Oh,
Jake.
Lord.
We'll have Jake, my two stepsons, and my son behind a wall, and it'll be Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2 with your daughter.
I really
okay.
like this idea. Hey, Eric, for that.
You
Yeah.
jackwagon?
I slipped.
You've been awarded Oracle
I got Jack Wagon for that
It was
idea.
accidental jack.
You know,
An accidental Jack
because he
Wagon.
was worried that his girlfriend was listening.
She is not guaranteed Jake's girlfriend.
She's not
Still sleeping. No, that's good. I'm glad she's not.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we now got Starship. It's Not Enough on Class X Radio. And we come back, we'll have some history for you, some fun history. Here's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know, we don't bring you history. Thank you, Denise. We don't bring you history that's boring. It's just like the news we do. We give you some great stuff. Now, here's some things you probably didn't know. In fact, I know you didn't know. Did you know an attempt was made to kidnap George Washington while he's commander-in-chief of Army during the American Revolution? The governor of New York, William Tyrone, and the mayor of New York City, David Matthews, both Tories, were involved in the plot as one of Washington's bodyguards, Thomas Hickey. Hickey was court-martialed and hanged for mutiny, sedition, and treachery on June 28, 1776. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, if you think taxes are bad now, in 1970, Rhode Island legislature proposed a $2 tax on every act of sexual intercourse. Now, how in the hell?
What?
How in the hell are you going to know that? Who's going to report it?
A tax.
A tax.
On prostitutes doing it?
No, on everybody, like a husband and wife doing it at home. They would have to pay a $2 tax.
Well, they would never get anything from a husband and wife doing it at home.
That's a good one.
Hey,
Come on.
Hey, how about this? How about this? This is funny. Okay, what if they would you catch your spouse cheating because they were like dumbass, and what they did is like they filed a report like how many times and who they had sexual intercourse with, and some of them weren't. Wait a minute, who's these names right here? Well, I had to report it for taxes.
Well, honey, we didn't do it that many times in a year, so
I'd like to
why
find
are you
out.
paying that much?
I'd like to find out how they dug into that one. That's goofy. The Palace of Versailles. The palace cost 5 million lira out of total state budget 120 million during the first year of the construction. The cost went up 15 million. Oh my God! In 1682, 22,000 workers were laboring on it. The next year, 36,000. There's 230 acres of garden, 1,400 fountains, 25,000 full-grown trees. By the way, I've been there. It's freaking awesome. Beautiful.
Where is that? I must not have been listening.
Versailles in
Okay.
France.
Okay.
Now, you know, we don't always do the joke on the radio, but I got to do today's joke. This is good stuff. We only do the great ones. Get ready for an oracle status on this one, man. A woman's husband had been slipping in and out of a coma for several months, yet she stayed by his bedside every single day. When he came to, he motioned for her to come near. As she sat by him, he said, "You know what? You have been with me through all the bad times. When I got fired, you were there to support me. When my business failed, you were there. When I got shot, you were by my side. When we lost a house, you gave me support. When my health started failing, you were still by my side. She just smiled and held his hand. He then continued, "The more I think about it, I think you bring me bad luck."
You've been awarded Oracle status.
That's funny stuff, man. See, I got good judgment on when to read the joke and when to leave it alone. Now, here's something good. Useless fact for the day. What popular beer? Mike, Jake, I know Sable House would know this, and Denise, has a hooker on the label.
A beer?
Uh-huh.
It's Polly.
Bingo! Oh, you read this.
No, there's only
St. Pauli Girl Beer has
Yeah.
a buxom German beauty serving up 6 glass mugs of brew. St. Pauli Girl's named for St. Pauli neighborhood of Hamburg, Germany, which was historically known as a red light district.
Oh, I was going to say I'm not even up with you on your thing, but you know when I went to Utah, we're gonna do this for Mitt Romney. They have beer out there, and it is Polygamy Porter beer, and it has a dude with all these women all around him, like very scantily dressed. I mean, it's an old thing. And it's just one guy right in the middle of the beer bottle. I mean, I was like cracking up. I bought T-shirts and hats.
What is your opinion of polygamy?
What?
Would you be one wife of many for a man?
No, because we'd never get along. Now, let me put it this way. I wouldn't want to have to share a man. Now, I would live in a big commune with a whole bunch of women because you get a whole lot of crap done. If that makes any sense. I mean, it's like when you go away with a bunch of chicks, 11 of us stayed in the house. Somebody did laundry, somebody cooked, somebody cleaned up. So there was a lot less work to do. Maybe that would be the benefit of living in a polygamous type.
Based on your answer to that question, go ahead and do the traffic report. We're done.
It wasn't entertaining enough? Is that what you're telling me?
Nope. Wrong
Okay.
answer.
Well, right now, everything starting to pick up, 71, 75, heading northbound into downtown from right around Kyle's on down to the bridge. And other than that, everything looks okay. Not seeing any accidents reported right now. And so, again, it's only 6:30. So we'll see how that looks in about
Only
half an hour.
6:30.
It's only 6:30. Sorry, people. Get that coffee.
All right, folks. Skyfall. The new James Bond film opened #1 in 25 overseas markets. We got to wait 2 more weekends for it to get here.
I have a friend studying abroad in London. He went to the premiere. He said it was awesome. He said they tie in vintage Bond with new Bond.
I'm gonna wear my best James Bond, Daniel Craig looking suit to the movie.
You gonna get a martini while you're there?
Yeah. There'll probably be people coming up wanting to get pictures with me during it.
Gee, you know what? You already have that. I have more people calling just to want to get in here and meet you.
Really?
Yeah.
It was kind of cool to have all these people wanting to get a picture of me and Mary. Mary was the most popular person at the Halloween party, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
Jeez, everybody wanted a picture with her.
Yeah.
And Broski wanted a picture of those legs.
Yeah.
Weekend box office, Argo, $12.4 million. Hotel Transylvania, 9.5. Cloud Atlas, 9.4. I'm behind on my movie going. Paranormal Activity 4, Silent Hill, 8 million. Taken 2, 8 million. Let me see. Evelyn Lozada, she's not going to get back with Chad. Oh, Chad, I'm so sorry. Chuck Berry, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, honored him with a tribute concert and award Saturday. He apparently has some more songs he wants to release. Mila Kunis, apparently rumored pregnant with Ashton's child.
My goodness.
A love child.
That's interesting. Man, I wonder how Demi Moore's going to handle that.
Here's a good sign. Madonna was booed at a concert in Louisiana for telling her audience to vote for Obama. Yeah, baby. I don't know why we got this, but this is famous law school dropouts. Paul Simon, Theodore Roosevelt, Diane Sawyer, Vince Lombardi, Al Gore. I think things turned out pretty good with them all, don't you think?
Maybe. Al Gore was a law school dropout? Or?
Of all those, I would say Al Gore was probably one that couldn't hack it. Could you, Al? Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Denise, do you have a traffic report for us?
Well, I do, and it's actually not too bad right now. So they did reopen where the water main break had East Pete Rose Way closed at Eggleston, but they still have some lane closures down in that area. Traffic's starting to pick up if you're heading out, just especially in northern Kentucky. Same spots as always. You know, I feel like a broken record telling everybody all the time. So really right now, no other accidents to report. So that's pretty good.
Did you see where we made the inquiry? John Kieswetter reported that about me being the morning drive host here at Class X Radio, and that Jim Scott got smoked by 2 points by another radio station. You know why? Because people are listening to us. See, that's the reason why.
I didn't see that.
Yes.
I'll have to look it up.
Thank God one of us reads the news around here and watch the news. Romney's going to visit Westchester on Friday. My good buddy, Sean Maloney's promoting this. He's going to be there with his wife, Ann, and Paul Ryan. They're going to hold a rally in Westchester at the Square at Union Center. Doors open at 4:30, and the event is expected to begin at 7. Tickets are available online, and it's free. Go, Mick!
Obama's going to be here Wednesday.
Obama's visiting Wednesday. He's going to speak at the Duke Energy Convention Center. Doors open at 8 a.m. Everybody is supposed to leave by 8:30 before he speaks. Any remaining tickets will be given out today at, let's give the wrong time. They're going to be given out at 11 a.m. at the Obama office in Forest Park or the Duke Energy Convention Center. I just want to give you a warning. I gave out the wrong time on that. So you won't know.
They have to look it up, huh? Do you think that'll make a difference?
Nobody listening to our station or listening to me supports Obama.
I was just going to say,
who cares?
There isn't anybody out there that does.
Right.
Tell your friends that do.
Yeah. Actually, let's change that. It's 2 p.m. A rocket-propelled grenade causes a scare in Sharonville, according to Fox 19. Workers at the Avery Dennison warehouse thought the grenade found by Mill Creek by the flood wall was real. The Cincinnati bomb squad decided it was a training round that carried no live ammunition. By the way, I got to say something about the news media and Sarah Jones. Radar Online reported that she was going to have her own reality show on 495 Productions on the Oxygen Channel.
My girlfriend heard about this.
And it got picked up by every TV station, every radio station, and people were emailing, it's not true. And even though I told some people it wasn't true, they still ran with it. Tricia Mackey from Fox 19 said this. I'll believe it when she tells me, and and the interview offer stands. It's like, oh, so you're gonna, unless she tells you it's not true, you're not gonna believe it. Her lawyer telling you it's not true. And then David Colreth from Channel 19 sent me an email asking if she was going to be a coach for the Bengals. Not true. People are ate up with the Sarah Jones. She's not doing a reality television show. Unbelievable. The press is ate up.
Are they associating it with your reality show?
Oh, my God.
Is that what people are trying to do?
Oh, Denise.
What? Why is he holding his head?
What reality show are you talking about? Oh, jeez. Oh, she's a blonde. Some things are supposed to be secret.
And how many times is he talking
Well,
about?
the cat's out of the bag now, I guess, isn't it? Jeez, so Pete. I hope nobody in the local news media is listening, which probably they are. Well, let's go to a Class X song now.
Okay.
Sinners, She's the One on Class X Radio. Eric Dieters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. How about this? David Williams ran against Governor Beshear in Kentucky, and then a state circuit judge from Cumberland County, Adair County, down in the mountains of central Kentucky, dies from that meningitis outbreak. Yep.
Wow.
So Beshear nominates, obviously, he's 59 years old. David Williams decides he wants to have a second career. So the guy he runs against, Beshear, names David Williams to the circuit court vacancy so he can get rid of Williams as a Senate Majority Leader, blocking his legislation. That's funny.
Well, it's good.
Your sworn rival makes you a judge. I would never do that. Governor Kasich said he believes Romney's ahead in Ohio and believes he'll win the state. You be better, Kasich.
You know, I was listening to the news over the week. I mean, they said nobody has ever won without winning Ohio.
No Republican has.
Okay.
John Kennedy was the one that he did win without winning Ohio, but no Republican has ever won without it.
Maybe that's what. Maybe I just misunderstood it. But.
Democratic U.S. Rep Ben Chandler and Republican challenger Andy Barr will have their first face-to-face meeting on TV tonight at 8 p.m. I mean, these guys are going at it. They might as well just fight a duel. They might as well just fight a duel. That's what I think. Okay, lots of sports over the weekend. Let's dive right into it. High school, the big games that I'm going to report. Connor 13, Covcat 12. My Home's Bulldogs wipes out Holy Cross 50-0. Finneytown 12, Deer Park nothing. We do that for Willie. Coleraine 48, Oak Hills 29. We do that for Sag. Hamilton 7, Fairfield 6. We do that for Nuxall. Lakota East 33, Lakota West 21. Elder 34, LaSalle 28. St. Xavier 23, Louisville St. Xavier 9, and Big Moeller beat Louisville Trinity. Hoorah! Scott County wiped out my Pioneers 56-6. And Highlands wiped up Ryle 58-13.
Imagine that. That was for me, right?
Yeah, it was for you.
Oh, okay. You forgot to say it.
And college football, the Bearcats went down in overtime to Louisville 34-31. It was a heartbreaker. NCAA basketball coaches poll preseason. This is weird. Indiana 1. Wiz's wife is happy. Louisville is 2. Kentucky is 3. Ohio State is 4.
Really?
Can you say
Louisville
Midwest
too.
Basketball? Take
Louisville.
that, ACC and Big East.
No wonder my boys' tuition kind of went up at Louisville. Both of them, yeah.
NFL Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor. Remember that little 16-year-old girl that he was accused of, found not guilty. I'll tell you that story about meeting Lawrence Taylor in a strip club in Tampa. Oh, my gosh, it's hilarious. I got an autographed football signed for my son Parker, and I lied to him. I told him I got it from meeting Lawrence Taylor at a movie theater line.
So where did you really get it?
Strip club, he was saying.
I'm hoping you've told him the true story later.
Yes, I did.
I'm sure he appreciates
Yes,
It really
yes.
doesn't matter,
It's great when
does
your
it?
kids become 20 years old. You can tell them stuff
He
like
probably
that.
thinks it's so much cooler now.
I was
Absolutely.
gonna say, yeah.
It's much cooler. We got news break now? Or do we have to keep on rocking?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. When we come back, we'll have the college scores for the weekend on Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know who had a good time at the old Shing Ding was Brian Hamrick. Had a good time at the Halloween party. How about Julie Nero from Channel 9 anchor, weekend anchor, showing up before she had to go and do the news. Boy, she's awful nice.
Julie Nero, Julie O'Neill.
Julie O'Neill. I apologize.
Okay. Oh, that's okay because
Julie O'Neill.
Catherine Nero. And
Yeah,
Julie O'Neill.
Julie O'Neill. I meant to say Julie O'Neill. She was awful nice. She was Snow White.
What was it? She looks like Snow White.
She played a good Snow White.
She could be Wonder Woman too. She is such a she's just so beautiful. She's got that black hair. She looks like Wonder Woman or Snow White.
She said that she makes her kids say, "Who's the most beautiful?"
Who's the most beautiful newswoman?
No. What does Snow White say? Who's the most beautiful? Mirror on the wall. Who's the most loveliest of them all? Yep. Football scores for college. We're going to give you the highlights. South Carolina 38, Tennessee 35. Even after losing their star running back for the rest of the year, God, that was an awful-looking injury. It looked like that Tim Krumrie type injury. Number 23, Texas, 21, Kansas 17. Missouri. There's only two teams that haven't won in the SEC, Kentucky and Missouri. Missouri beats us 33-10. Ole Miss 30, Arkansas 27. The Battle of the Carolinas. North Carolina 43, North Carolina State 42. Oregon 70, Colorado 14. UCLA 45, Arizona State 43. Georgia beats Florida, number 2, 17-9. Kansas State 55, number 14, Texas Tech 24. Arizona 39. They beat USC 36. They were number 9. Number 12, Florida State wipes up Duke 48-7. Miami of Ohio beats Ohio 23-20. Michigan State 16, Wisconsin 13 in overtime. Ohio State beat Penn State 35-23. Number 17, Stanford 24, Washington State 17. Number 20, Texas A&M, Auburn 21. Nebraska 23, Michigan 9. Number 1, Alabama 38. Number 11, Mississippi State 7. And my game of the week, dun 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 dun, my Irish, number 5 Irish, beat Oklahoma 30-13. It was closer than the score. But the Irish kick some butt. Now for a traffic report.
Well, still looking pretty much the same as far as the Tri-State goes. Still have just lane restrictions, possibly even having to close it, I guess, at times for a water main break on East Pete Rose Way at Eggleston. The rest of the Tri-State traffic starting to pick up. It's 7 o'clock. Still pretty early. Not seeing any big delays. 71, 75. Starting to see it look a little bit slower, but you're still it's really just from Kyle's on down to the bridge. So looks like there might be a problem off on the right shoulder there, but it doesn't look too serious. So we'll keep watching, let you know if it changes, but right now still not too bad.
Well, we like to keep watching. Let's watch that. Let's just watch. Let's that water main break. Considered one of the top prospects for the next NFL draft, Marcus Lattimore suffered a gruesome injury during Tennessee. The legs seem to be completely dislocated. I mean, just whopped. Sad. We already covered the Giants beating the Tigers. They win the World Series 4-0. Here's your NFL scores if you missed them. Chicago 23, Carolina 22, last-second field goal. Cleveland 7, San Diego 6, miserable game. Detroit 28, Seattle 24, last seconds. New England 45, St. Louis 7, Miami 30, the Jets 9, Atlanta 30, Philadelphia 17, Pittsburgh 27, Washington 12, Green Bay 24, Jacksonville 15, Indianapolis 19, Detroit 13, Oakland 26, Kansas City 16, Denver 34, New Orleans 14, and the Giants beat my Cowboys, who suck, 29-24. They got to fire Jerry Jones. They got to fire. Can he fire himself? They got to fire all of them. NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson won the race yesterday at Martinsville. Johnson also took the lead in points in the chase for the Sprint Cup. Today's NFL schedule on ESPN at 8:30. the San Francisco 49ers at Arizona. And Melky Cabrera, the New York Post reports that the Mets and Phillies may try to acquire him. He failed a drug test from the Giants. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that's not good.
Give us a full. You already got a
Yeah,
trending
we already
report, didn't
did. You know, I have a question for you, though, because there was an article, a friend of mine called me over the weekend, and she personally knows this guy. But and I haven't seen it. I didn't look through the newsletter. A UC student that actually shot himself in the face over the weekend. It was like 1 a.m. He was actually playing with his gun. Apparently has several guns from a source that's actually very, very close, so I wouldn't say it. But he actually shot himself in the face, like from his cheek down through his chin. He survived it. I mean, he just, didn't kill himself, but he literally kind of shot his face off. So I was sitting here actually looking at this on Channel 9's website. So it just says a male student, shot himself at 1 a.m. Alcohol was reported to be one of the, an issue there. But the girl that I talked to over the weekend, her sister used to date this young man. Apparently, they're going to charge him with it
kind of reminds me of that movie Something About Mary when Ben Stiller shot himself in the face, and it wasn't discovered till his date came to the door.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Something About Mary?
Yeah, Something About Mary. Ben Stiller shot himself in the face.
I don't remember.
And
that
it wasn't
part.
discovered until, who was that actress? Cameron Diaz.
Right.
Came to the door. She played Mary, and that's when he realized he had shot himself in the face.
Yeah. What?
What? Do you
You're
remember?
not
have you
talking
seen-
about with a gun,
You
are
think
you?
that's a funny situation?
Have you seen the movie?
Yes, but I just now caught it because I'm talking about.
Hello, she's blonde.
I'm sitting here
This blonde
talking.
moment brought to you by BulldogSmax.com.
I'm sitting here talking about with a gun because the guy's going to be. I mean, how would they charge? They're going to charge the guy with discharging a firearm in city limits.
say if
or-
you want to shoot yourself, that's a bad thing, but you shouldn't be charged with a crime.
Well, I mean, he shot his face. Isn't
Attempted
that-
murder. You tried to kill yourself.
Well, anyway, I was just wondering.
Oh, God.
It
So
took me
anyway.
a minute to.
That's gotta be bad for that guy. First, he wants to kill himself. Then it doesn't work.
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
Yeah, it wasn't an attempted suicide. Apparently, this guy has an issue with guns and plays with his. He's got it reportedly. This was from the girl that personally knows him. 5 or 6 guns, but they're gonna charge him like. I mean, as if shooting your face off isn't bad enough,
Well,
with discharging a firearm in the city limits, or I guess shooting a gun while intoxicated. What else could they charge him with?
I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie Blackwater? I think it was called Blackwater. Michael Douglas played in it, and so did Morgan Freeman. It would not now be a great time to go to the East Coast to rob a bank? I mean, if these whole towns are evacuating themselves, who's going to guard the banks?
But they have to be able to get into those safes, so it's not going to be the easiest thing to do.
It's called dynamite.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm being serious.
You're giving some
Do
people
banks-
ideas there.
I mean, I think of these crazy things because I always thought it'd be cool. Everybody watches bank robbery movies, and I don't care what anybody says. The reason why people like bank robbery movies is they always fantasize how cool it would be to rob a bank and get away with
be
it.
that
I'm
guy.
not talking about the Jack Williams that goes up to the teller and says, I got a bomb, and you get a pack full of orange dye that blows up in your face.
But like the
I'm talking,
Ocean's 11 kind
Yeah,
of.
Ocean's 11 kind of
There
thing.
you go.
The inside man kind of thing.
There was
Where
a
you
lot of
actually
men
get
there.
away with robbing millions of dollars from bank. Why? There's insurance. Nobody gets hurt.
And with a big
And you have a success of robbing
They
a
don't need
bank.
it.
Well, it's like Bonnie.
Did you ever think
and
about robbing a bank? I
in that
admit
kind
it.
of, in that kind of fashion, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if you could. I always figured I'd wait till I'm real, real old because then.
I don't know. You'd move awfully slow
Yeah. So, anyway.
with your walker.
Bank
Don't
robbery.
you think with your walker or wheelchair, you think you get away very fast?
Wheelchair. No.
If you were really old, you just come on. You see a little walker walking into the bank.
By the way, the Hurricane Sandy, it hit Cuba, it hit the Caribbean. 51 died in Haiti. That's some sad stuff right
It is
there.
sad.
51 died in Haiti.
And they're having a bad few years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, one of the things that we're going to discuss when we come back from the break is we're going to get into politics a little bit. And that's going to include what's
Really?
What happened in Libya and what was reported on Libya Friday afternoon, beginning with Fox News, and it gave me cold chills and tears and everything else. And I can tell you right now, if the public votes for Barack Obama after listening to what we now know happened in Libya, which he knew happened in Libya, shame on you. And let me tell you, Buckeyes, let me tell you, Ohio, if you reelect this president, knowing what you know now about what happened in Libya, shame on you. Now we're going to play one of those purest Class X music songs called, this is by Augustana, Wrong Side of Love, which sometimes we all get on Class X Radio.
Class X.
Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We have so much news, so many things to cover. But we have an hour and 45 more minutes to do it. Let's begin with Joe Biden. Gaff man. Speaking in Virginia, Biden began praising Senate candidate and former Virginia Governor Tim Kaine, adding, I'm a big Tom Kaine fan. It's like me saying I'm a big Jake Schlegel fan, but I call him Bob. Really makes you gives you some credibility that you really do know him well, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's like wanting jobs to be built right here in China.
You know,
that was a good one.
One of the most effective characteristics or strategies as a public speaker you can use, particularly if you're a politician, and Larry Forgy was a genius at doing this, was to call somebody's name out in the crowd to bond with your crowd, even doing it more than once. Like if you're speaking about jobs or something like that, you'd see somebody in the crowd. So isn't that right, Bill Johnson? I know your factory. You're wanting to hire people, aren't you? You know, you say that, and it makes people feel good. You know, everybody in the crowd says, that was pretty cool. He recognized him. Forgy used to do great at that. And then he'd tell a joke. I never get the one time he told a joke on me. God, it was so funny. And I've copied it over and over again. And everybody laughs. I even used it on Joe Dieters when I introduced him at a fundraiser. How about a traffic report?
Well, we can do that. There's an accident right now at Pippin and Adams, and I was actually going to look up Keyswater's blog there for you. But
Pippin and Adams.
Pippin and Adams. Pippin, like Pippi Longstocking, but it's
I think Keyswater reported that we're the #1 morning talk show host now in the tri-state.
Is that what he? I
think that's what he reported.
Okay, well, I was just going to actually pull it up and read it. But 7175, that traffic's slow. 471, just from around Route 8, starting to see traffic build there, right around the Ronald Reagan merge. Pretty much just from Lockland, and also, again, right at 74 merge, continuing north, just a little slow there. Not any big issues, and just that one accident. And just watch for lane closures, again, if you're heading downtown.
Lane closures are bad.
Yeah,
bad.
well,
lane closures are bad.
Lane closures. You know, on Fort Washington Way, or not Fort Washington Way. Oh, wait, there's another accident, 7175 northbound at Buttermilk. That's a broken down car, actually, right now. So, in the water main break, that has lane closures on Pete Rose Way at Eggleston. So just watch for just a little bit of a problem there through the day until they get that. That was a big, big hole.
You know, I'd like to play a little bit morning humor. And I'd like to do this for all you liberal Obama supporters out there that might be listening to me. This is from A Few Good Men. This is Colonel Jessup on the witness stand. And I just want to, as we start talking about Obama. Just a short one? Yeah. Well, you got to get the long one, Jake. Well, play the short one.
You can't handle the truth.
Play it again.
You can't handle the truth.
That's for all you Obamaites out there. Guess what, Obamaites? A new poll shows that Obama's approval rating from October 23rd to 26th dropped 7 points in 3 days. Now, that was before what we found out on Friday about the Libyan issue. It's got to drop some more. Doesn't it? I say it does. The Des Moines Register endorsed Romney. The former governor and business executive with a strong record of achievement in both private and public sectors. He was an accomplished governor in a liberal state. He founded and ran a successful business. He successfully managed the 2002 Winter Olympics. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And by the way, the Enquirer, which doesn't have much prestige anymore, but the Cincinnati Enquirer also endorsed Romney. Obama leads Romney in Pennsylvania, according to Philly.com, by 6 points. Other polls have it dead even. While Biden was visiting a cheese shop in Kenosha, a 30-something woman seemed to be irritated at the fact that Biden was causing a delay in her schedule. She said, "This is a battleground state. They're trying to win it. I just need some Limeburger cheese." You know, these presidential candidates and presidents, they do cause, like the traffic jams.
Oh, yeah.
All those cars, they don't need all those cars. You know, if I was president of the United States, I'd sneak into the airport, fly in, and get into an armored car that nobody knows is me. I mean, when you block off traffic and everybody else is like, "Here we come, here we come." Mm-hmm. Why not be incognito in one vehicle?
You know what? We're going to run into that on Wednesday, leaving here with Obama coming in.
And let's face it, in that armored Suburban, you can have guys with, like, all kinds of firepower.
Oh, absolutely.
And speaking of that, I'm going to report about the armored car that our guys used over in Libya and Benghazi. Incredible story as I watched that whole. I'm an expert on that situation now.
Are you?
I watched everything over the weekend so I could stay educated and up on things. Let me see. Obama squandered advantages. How about this? A New York Times editorial. After a couple of Cadillacs, a summer belly flop abroad, a dismissive swipe at 47% of the population, and a convention best remembered for Clint Eastwood's chat with a chair, Mitt Romney is seemingly tied with President Obama. He has a real chance. It's a remarkable turn of events given how many errors he's made and how suited he is to be the American president. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, the best, you know what, one of my favorite costumes at the Bulldog Nation Halloween party was Clint Eastwood. Folks, get this. This guy, Pointer, my good buddy Pointer, showed up with a chair that he built himself with an Obama photograph on it, and Ron Pointer, and he was dressed up like Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood. That was a creative Halloween
Pretty
costume.
good.
And to this day, I thought to myself, and I still think to myself, how much cooler it would have been if Clint Eastwood walked out on that stage at the Republican convention dressed like Josie Wales.
That would have gotten some attention, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would have brought the house down. He wouldn't have had to say anything. He could have just spit on the chair. You know? He could have even brought a dog out and not spit on the dog, because that would have made animal lovers mad. But he could have spit on the, even better, he could have came out with that Indian. An old Indian.
Yeah, there you go. That would have.
And his squaw. And spit on the chair. Ron Pointer gets Oracle status for that costume. Mary Daters gets Oracle status for hers. And so does Dr. Kurtzman, Gangster Man. And we got to get it up for this guy.
You've been awarded
Chuck Holbrook and Rebecca. Caveman and Cavewoman. I loved his beard and his hair. It was good. It was good.
Oracle status.
He was in the
I couldn't tell who it was at first.
You could tell.
Jake's was good. Jake and his girlfriend.
Jake was like me. He didn't put any effort. He was what?
I just was wearing khaki colors.
Khaki colors, and he was what? A zookeeper.
I was a zookeeper.
Yeah, but you were a zookeeper and your girlfriend was a cat, right?
I put on a Dixie shirt, and I was Cody.
Yeah.
Well, you did have a wig on for a while.
Oh God, the wig was awful.
Wasn't that? They're hot.
It was red. Made me look like my sister Celia.
There was a lot of hair to that wig too. So.
I know.
Especially when you're bald, it doesn't help much to have to put one of those things on.
No, I did. Have we done a traffic report this segment?
I don't know if we have or not, but I mean, we can certainly.
No, if I don't want to have one. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I was joking. I was joking. Go ahead. Give us a traffic report.
It's 7:30. I was sitting here trying to actually look at the cameras. Still have the accident. Pippin and Adams in a broken down car, 7175, right around Buttermilk. Traffic starting to really slow down as far as heading southbound on 75 from around Allen Road on down to 275.
I think you ought to give all cat women.
Then again. From Rockland on down to Paddock. You're giving who?
We're multitasking on radio.
I see. 7175 as you're heading inbound just through the Cotton Hill. Really starting to see everything slow down around Buttermilk to the bridge.
Yeah. And the Russian woman.
What about me?
Awarded Oracle status.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American...
Hey, can I give Denise's daughter?
Oh!
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Really?
Hey,
Oracle status.
I shouldn't do this, but you know me, I'll do it anyway. My 20-year-old son allegedly hooked up with a 31-year-old woman.
You shouldn't be. He's going to be mad at you.
Who speaks 3 languages.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
What is this? Is Cody York going to rub off on all young men in the tri-state?
It's a new craze.
By the way, serious. Okay, you guys are all in love with her daughter.
Right.
Parker goes, what's her mom look like? We can double date. My son is like a fight with older women, man. Can you imagine that? Parker and you double date with your daughter and Cameron.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. How old's your son?
Hey, Parker was making headway with the Russian woman.
Yeah.
Well, 30's not so bad, but my age,
Parker walks up to her now. Parker is not like Mr. Scholastics, right? But he walks up to her. I was impressed. He goes, hey, do you know Stalin? Oh, my God. And you know what?
Awarded Oracle status.
How about some real classic rock chosen by the Bulldog?
How about it?
Bachman Turner Overdrive. You ain't seen nothing yet. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Governor Sununu, who I don't really care for. I think he's a jerk. I drove around with him one day, all day, on a political campaign trail once when he came here and he went to Xavier. He came in to support the candidacy of George Bush the one when he ran for president. And but it makes me mad he backed up on his comment relative to Colin Powell, because the reality of it is it's true. Nobody will ever. I'll accuse Colin Powell. I'll accuse Colin Powell that race is the big issue with him supporting Barack Obama. I mean, come on, Colin Powell's a Republican. He served under George Bush. All this good stuff. Then all of a sudden, he supported Obama last time, and he still supports Obama after the lousy job he's done? Give me a break. I say, without any question whatsoever, Colin Powell has endorsed Barack Obama as a result of the race issue. And I'm sticking to that. By the way, did you hear about that Abound solar company? That the solar panels work fine so long as they're not in the sun?
That's a pretty bad
true story.
Manufacturing.
You put them in the sun, they don't work. It's incredible. Abound Solar Company, big loans from the government. They do not work.
Oh, my gosh. And they had loans from the government and nothing works. See, that's our money at work for us.
They don't work in the sun.
It's kind of like us talking. I was listening to some of your shows over the weekend, and they were talking about mice and how testing on mice hearing music or something, and what they spend money on.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Give us a traffic report, please.
I have another accident. Vinik Galbraith, also Pippin and Adams, still have that in a broken down car on 7175 right around Buttermilk. That traffic is slow. I was just looking at the cameras here a few minutes ago. As far as heading southbound on 75, you're slow there. Yeah, that's pretty typical. Pretty slow from Allen Road to 275. Then again, between Lockland and Paddock.
Can't find that Seeger song.
Northbound, as you're heading on 75 from around Mitchell on up to the Norwood Lateral in that direction. 7175 from
Like
Buttermilk to the bridge.
Thank you, Denise.
You're so welcome. If they could hear. What song are you looking for?
Heard.
What song?
Seeger, Like a Rock.
I love that song.
Senator Marco Rubio's daughter is in an intensive care unit. His 12-year-old daughter, Amanda, was in an accident involving a golf cart in a gated community. Obama, Biden, and Romney have all extended personal messages to the senator. All the best to Amanda. The New York Times had a big story titled "The Price of a Black President." When African Americans go to the polls next week, they are likely to support Barack Obama at a level approaching the 95% share of the black vote he received in 2008, as well as they should, given the symbolic exceptionalism of his presidency and the modern Republican Party's utter disregard for economic justice, civil rights, and social safety net. You want to talk about racism? How can black unemployment has doubled under Obama? The black community has been devastated, and they're still going to go out and vote for Barack Obama. Why? Because he's black. That is racism. That is racism, in my humble opinion. Now, I don't know, and I'm going to dive into this subject matter, and it's probably going to dominate the rest of the show, as it should. But ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we all know that way back when, on September the 11th, after the Benghazi consulate attack, where we lost an ambassador and 3 others, including 2 former SEALs or current SEALs, and President Obama and Hillary Clinton and Leon Panetta and the UN ambassador and Jay Carney and everybody else started talking that this was all as a result of a video, an anti-Muslim video that was made in Hollywood. By the way, that video was made like last year. A bunch of crock. And what happens? Hillary Clinton apologized. Barack Obama went all around, UN, everything. Days and weeks afterwards, talking about this video, blaming it on a video. Well, it was Friday afternoon, I guess around 2 or 3 o'clock, when I was in my office and Fox News began the report. Megyn Kelly had the story. And they had the father of one of the SEALs. And it came out that, and by the way, when all this was taking place, it was 2 p.m. when it began. This went on between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. in the afternoon. This wasn't in the middle of the night, okay? And it comes out that the 2 Navy SEALs who wanted to go to the consulate were told not to. They asked to go again. They were told not to. They finally disobeyed orders and went. And they could not save the ambassador. They could not save the guy that was with the ambassador, who were in a safe room. And the bad guys who had the place surrounded put diesel fuel all around the place, set it afire. And when the SEALs finally went there, they had some support of some Libyan, friendlies. And they held them off as much as they could. Then they get the bodies, they put them in the SUV, armored SUV, and they take fire all the way back to what is considered a CIA hideout. And, they have flat tires. They're getting shot left and right, from 2 foot away with this armored vehicle. They make it back to this place. There's a fire, storm there. And guess what? They put a laser on a target at a mortar shell, a place that was firing mortars at them, and they asked for help. They never got help. By the way, they asked for help when they got to the consulate, too. They never got help. There was a drone in the area. They had troops that were, special units that were available. This was going on for hours. And the bottom line is, just think how sad this is. And the father of the SEAL was talking. They could have taken out, America could have taken out this mortar shooter, but they didn't. And guess what? That is where the mortar came from that killed our guys. It made me sick watching this and hearing this. And Leon Panetta, the jackwagon that is Leon Panetta, says, well, we didn't know enough. We had guys there on the ground, in the consulate, in the hideout. Are you freaking kidding me? You can't get any better intelligence than that. So, first, they deny backup. They deny help. Then they freaking lie about it all the way up to today. Now, this is from Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer. All right? Told Fox News that sources were telling him that the president was watching the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya in real time. Schaefer told Fox that only the president could have ordered backup for the Americans who were under siege by the terrorists, so the president was most certainly informed of the situation that was unfolding. And when he got nailed on the camera over the weekend by a local news affiliate who asked him directly, did you withhold backup? He dodged the question. He couldn't just say no or yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, what's the Marine motto? You don't leave a man behind. What is the SEALs? They don't leave a man behind. And this jackwagon president takes all the credit for killing bin Laden, sending in the SEALs to do the job. And then when SEALs need backup in Libya, in Benghazi, he doesn't send them. This president is despicable. He's not a nice guy. He's a despicable human being. He is a fraud. He's a smiling fraud. He's a thug from Chicago. He hates America. And for the first time that I'm aware of in American history, he failed to order backup to Americans trying to save an ambassador. Ohio, you vote for him, the hell with you. Now let's play some music on Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Denise, let's have a traffic report before I get rolling again.
Okay, I have an accident still. They're cleaning this one up at Vine and Galbraith. And then if you're heading in northbound 71, 75, right now already looking at 25 minutes from Buttermilk to the bridge. 471, you're slowing down around Grand. Westbound 275, you're slow from Loveland, Madeira, all the way over to 71. Once you hit 71, that traffic's backed up from Fields Erdel south all the way to Red Bank. So, I mean, that average speed right now is 30 miles an hour. So you can figure double time if you're heading in that southbound direction. Southbound 75, you're pretty much on your brakes there from Cincy Dayton Road to 275. Then again, right around Sharon, all the way down to Paddock. So I don't see any other accidents. Oh, and eastbound 74, heading inbound from around North Bend, all the way over to 75. And it looks like there might be a problem on 75. I'm going to have to check that. I'll let them know. Let me check it out. I thought I saw flashing lights there.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I hate weather disaster reporting. It's the same thing over and over again. Here's all you need to know. There is a huge-ass storm hitting the east. I mean, it's hitting the east. And if you live in the east, you have relatives in the east, you already know by now to take shelter and protect yourself or go inland. And there's not a darn thing you can do besides do that. And I'm going to be watching movies, I think, on my cable television while I work today instead of the news, because I'm not going to watch nonstop footage over a storm, which, I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I've been sitting here keeping an eye on the TVs, and 3 out of 4 have always been, they've all had the storm at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the number one issue, broad issue, in every single political campaign from dog catcher to president is always, I used to run campaigns, folks. I know a little bit about this. It's trust. It's trust. Who do you trust? It's the number one issue from dog catcher to the president. How can anybody in America trust this lying, freaking president and all of his minions? Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Leon Panetta, their careers, political careers, should be over. How can Hillary Clinton say, oh, I am doing an accountability review board when we know they already know exactly what the hell happened? Retired General David Petraeus, responding to allegations that a CIA request for military and backup in Libya was denied. The spokesman for the CIA said, no one at any level in the CIA told anybody not to help those in need. Claims to the contrary are simply inaccurate. That throws it back in the State Department, the Defense Department. U.S. officials denied a request to bomb the attackers of the consulate because they would have had to violate Libyan airspace. Guess what? They violated Libyan airspace when we were overthrowing Gaddafi. Oh, let's pick and choose when we don't want to violate Libyan airspace. We violated Pakistani airspace when we took out bin Laden, but we can't violate Libyan airspace when it comes to saving an ambassador and some SEALs. And I love the fact that the parents and the family members of these people are speaking out, because they have a right to speak out. That father of that SEAL says whoever didn't take out that mortar committed murder. What are you going to say about that, Barack? Obama on Libya security quest on the Michael Schmerkani show. He said, quote, get this, not personally aware of requests for more security in Libya. BS. Lindsey Graham, I can't stand him. John McCain, I can't stand him. And Kelly Oda of New Hampshire or Maine, I forget which state she's from, they've written the Department of Defense and the CIA and Attorney General demanding that the surveillance video from Libya be released. Well, good for them, but I can't stand them. They're jackwagons. Establishment Republican jerks.
You jackwagon?
Speaking of that NBC affiliate in Colorado, Obama brushed off a question about requests for help, saying, the election has nothing to do with the 4 brave Americans getting killed and us wanting to find out exactly what happened. The hell it doesn't, Mr. President. It has everything to do with it. Because you are a failure as a president on every conceivable level. The worst president in the history of the United States, and it ain't even close, and that's pretty pathetic considering how bad George Bush was. John McCain said the cover-up of the Obama administration and Libya attack is the worst cover-up in U.S. history. I agree. Nobody died in Watergate, as Huckabee and everybody else is saying. Rob Portman on Libya. It's unbelievable, and now we are hearing the President of the United States, based on his own words, issued a directive immediately after he found out about the firefight, saying he wanted to be sure those people on the ground were safe and they were getting what they needed. Oh, yeah? Then why didn't you give them what they needed while they were still alive? Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. Either the president gave an order that was disobeyed by the Secretary of Defense to provide support in Benghazi, or he didn't. And I think people want answers before this election on that. Yeah, I'd say. Jeez. An Obama spokesman calls Romney a liar about working with Republicans and Democrats. Oh, my God. Barack Obama is the biggest phony fraud of a president in the history of the United States. And women, you elected him. You elected him. Iowa's 4 major newspapers back Romney: the Des Moines Register, Cedar Rapids Gazette, Quad City Times, and Sioux City Journal. Let's hope they have some freaking clout in Iowa. I hope he wins Iowa, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio. I hope he beats Obama in the ground. Gallup poll, Romney 50, Obama 46. Rasmussen, Romney 50, Obama 47. If you listen to smart people like Dick Morris, he'll say that 50-47 is really 52-45 probably. Or actually, it was even better than that because of undecideds will go to them. In the Wall Street Journal poll, Obama and Romney are tied in Ohio at 49%. Ohio, how can it be that close? Let me tell you something. All you unionites, police officers, firefighters, teachers who were upset about Kasich, and you were all down with the Democrats because of your selfish self-interest? Doesn't it bother you what he's just done? Not only lousy president on the economy, but what he's done relative to this Benghazi issue? Do you care more about yourself, or do you care more about America in general? That we have a president that won't send help to Americans in need and then lies about it to your face. Guess what, all you unionites? I'm a plaintiff's lawyer. Barack Obama's perfect for a plaintiff's lawyer, and I'm voting against him. I love America more than being a plaintiff's lawyer, as far as he can help me. Minnesota, Obama 47, Romney 44. Throw in some money and steal that sucker. Have we had a traffic report this break? If not, give me another one.
Well, I'm not really sure if we did, honestly. Pippin at Adams still dealing with the accident. They're cleaning it up. They're actually working on getting that out of the way. Vine at Galbraith, still traffic very, very heavy on 71. Seems to be more than normal out there as far as all the way from Fields Erdel as you're heading southbound all the way down to Red Bank. It's just a pretty solid stream of traffic. It's going to take you twice as long, basically. It's moving about 30 miles an hour or less in that area. Southbound 75 was from Cincy-Dayton all the way down to 275, then again from Sharon on down to the Ronald Reagan merge. Not seeing any other accidents. You still have some lane restrictions if you're heading down to Pete Rose Way around Eggleston due to a water main break that actually happened on Sunday. But until they get that actually fixed in that area, you might have some lane restrictions there. 275, that traffic, I don't know if I mentioned that, all the way up from Loveland Madeira to 71. And then again, eastbound on 74 from right around North Bend all the way over to 75.
Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia is getting some flood. Ooh, okay, let's report it nonstop. Will Geraldo Rivera, who my friends at NBC said smells when they covered the Casey Anthony trial, they said he smelled. Will a tornado just blow Geraldo away for a little bit?
Well, maybe he could
I don't want him to die or anything. I just want him to be blown away just for kicks and grins.
Well, maybe he should just stand in the water and get washed off and smell better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I now give you a deep track, as they call them around here. Joe Walsh, Funk 50, whatever the hell that is, on Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Take a little break on my Obama bashing to give you some news that you might not have known about. The New York Times on Saturday had a story, and I was waiting for someone to do a story about this, on Lance Armstrong. You know, all this troubles that he's had being canceled by all of his sponsors. You know it's bad when Nike cancels you? Because Nike's loyal to their athletes. I mean, I've seen them hang in there. They hung in there with Tiger. They hung in there with Lance for a long time. But he's going to be fine. Guess why? His net worth, $125 million. A little bit of local news. I can support this. Mayor Morricone of Independence is a great idea that we need to rename 17, the 4-lane that goes all the way out. Madison Pike should remain Madison Pike, should be the old Madison Pike. The 4-lane ought to get a new name, and I like his idea of Pioneer Highway. Yesterday in the Enquirer and the New York Times and all major papers, Billy Graham did an article or an ad. Great picture, great short statement, asking everyone to vote for the sanctity of life and marriage and biblical values so that we will remain America, one nation under God. What was so funny about the Enquirer ad is the next section, the next page over, was an ad. We are concerned, faithful Catholics who support Barack Obama. Well, everybody's name's on there. We're going to do a group jackwagon. All of you Catholics that signed this ad in the Enquirer, concerned, faithful Catholics who support Barack Obama, guess what? You're jackwagons.
You jackwagon?
How you like that? Concerned Catholics for Barack Obama. You can't run and you can't hide from the Bulldog. Want to give it up in Oracle for a Colonial Cottage in Erlanger. Why? Because we're going to be on the History Channel about Geta and sausage.
My mom loves that place.
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant.
It's a great restaurant.
Yeah,
Used to go there almost every day with Judge Dressman for lunch when I worked at the old law firm.
Mm-hmm.
The casino is wanting an 80-foot sign. Here's what I got to say to the casino. Why don't you spend a little money taking care of those workers who almost died building your casino before you get your 80-foot sign? We're going to jackwagon up the Horseshoe Casino.
You jackwagon?
Let me tell you something, folks. The Bulldog and Bulldog Nation, we stand with the little guy, not the big guy. And we're not anti-big guy. We're not anti-1%. We like 1%ers. But I can tell you right now, for the casino to want an 80-foot sign, meanwhile, Messer and the rest of them are trying to screw these employees. Guess what, guys? The Bulldog's coming. You scared off those other lawyers, but you didn't scare me off because I got an angle that they don't have. This is disgusting. This Shayna Ubers, who shot and killed Ryan Post and the lawyer, get this, according to Highland Heights detective Bill Birkenauer, testified to preliminary hearing. She said she gave him the nose job that he wanted. She said she couldn't stand to see him deformed after shooting him in the face. She said he was vain. Said that he shot him again in the head, shot him again 4 more times to stop the twitching. Look at this sick freaking woman. The judge revoked the bond and said, no bond. And Zevley says self-defense. Yeah, self-defense, my butt. Like he's going to shoot her. Yeah. He had no... What a psycho. I think, I have to admit, insanity might be an option.
At that point, it might be.
I mean, what she says and did, that might be insanity.
She say that in court?
No, sent it to the cop. The cop testified in court.
Crazy.
Yeah. Shot her in the head, shot him again in the face, then 4 more times. 6 times.
Was she on drugs?
I don't know. Sick. Ugh. Traffic report, please.
Well, a couple of accidents. Westbound 275 at 5 miles. Also Asbury at Woodruff and Banning just west of Coleraine. There's a broken down car on the ramp from southbound 7175 to Donaldson, which is heading southbound direction. And then just the rest of the traffic flow around the train station on the normal spots southbound 75 all the way from City Dayton down to 275 and then again really sharing down to Haddock and then over on 71. Pretty heavy. Field road was pretty solid all the way down to Red Bank. So you got to say there. West on 275, which is the north corner on over 71 and on 74 inbound. And so there right around North Bend.
Thank you, Denise. Isn't it nice not to have Garrett here to interrupt you?
Is that what it is? Well, you know, the only problem is he drives the motor.
Yeah, that's true. Mitt Romney's being smart. And I want to give it up to the old Mitt campaign. He is doing a great job with his final television commercial that he's airing here in the tri-state about he's doing this for America, that he wants to work with Democrats and Republicans, that people are hurting. It's this wonderful, positive message. And by golly, you always want to end your campaign on a positive message. Meanwhile, Barack Obama is going to have to end his message, hopefully in front of a grand jury. High crimes and misdemeanors. Is lying to the American people not under oath a crime? I don't think it is, unfortunately.
Probably not.
But, you know, just think of this, guys and gals. Look at what's going to come out after the election about Barack Obama, especially when he loses. You know that tell-all book by the Biden staff person and all these others, when Barack Obama can't hurt him, when David Axelrod and Rahm Emanuel can't threaten him, the stories that are going to come out of this administration. And you watch, Barack Obama is going to have to be pardoning himself, and he's going to have to pardon Eric Holder over at the Justice Department. He's going to have to do a lot of pardons as he leaves office to protect people. Oh, well. Biden in Columbus, Ohio. After questioning whether Romney would stand up to the Republicans of the Tea Party, here he goes. You know how he says, man? You know, these old Buckeyes, man. They kind of see it clear. They can cut through a lot of this stuff, man. Hey, Biden, why don't you go back to freaking Delaware? Take out a ham and cheese sandwich from your lunchbox and sit on your front porch and stay there. Jeez, old Pete. Take the train to nowhere. The Democrats have admitted they have no chance to win back the House. And by golly, they better not hold on to the Senate. Let me tell you right now, American voters, you let them hold on to the Senate, and Romney wins the presidency, that's going to make me sick. Jeez, old Pete. And let me tell you about old General Powell. Maybe people forget about this old General Powell. General Powell is a liar. And General Colin Powell didn't have the guts to stand up to George Bush and Karl Rove when they said, go out to the UN and tell them that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, and you can watch the video clip. He relied upon it. He says this, a German engineer who saw it all when American and European intelligence, as reported by 60 Minutes, reflects, they knew that German engineer was full of it. And Colin Powell knew it. But Colin Powell is a soldier. I have to follow orders, even if it means lying to everybody in the world. Hey, Colin Powell, you got a little guilt from that, Colin Powell? Because thanks to you, Colin Powell, we had $1 trillion war and lost about 4,000 men in Iraq. Thanks to you. So, Colin Powell, the way I look at your endorsement is it's worth about a pound of Limeberger cheese in Wisconsin right now. I'm fired up.
You think Garrett will bring us any cheese back?
No, he won't.
He probably won't.
All right, this is a new Meatloaf song, Standing in a Storm. By the way, my massage therapist, Kim Guffey, thought that this should be my theme song.
Really?
So let's listen to it and see if I say, Raise a Little Hell's better than this on Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I've been asking since I came on this radio station that one of my top 5 songs of all time is Rob Jungles' Memphis Thing, and we still don't have it. Let's have fun with those Class X purists and their music.
Well, that last song, that Meatloaf song.
That last song sucked.
Horrible. Well, I sent Bill Spry a message. Just that was not rock. Just because it has Meatloaf's name on it. Yeah.
Kim Guffey wanted it to be my theme song. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
Trooper Raise a Little Hell.
This one's better.
You mean
Meatloaf sounds better on this than it did in that song.
I think you're right. Give us a traffic report so I can text Bill Spry and complain about that song.
I was going to say, I sent him a message myself. All right. You know, I was just looking at cameras here a minute ago. And northbound 71, you're really having some trouble there. Pretty much as you're heading north from around Red Bank all the way up to Pfeiffer. That's pretty solid traffic there as far as delays go. Also an accident northbound 75 right around Mitchell, and that traffic is slow there, and you're backed up all the way back to Hopple. Now that's northbound 75. Southbound 75, that traffic is slow as well, but that's all the way from Cincy Dayton as you're continuing south down to 275, and then heavier from Sharon on down to the Ronald Reagan Merge, even on down to Paddock there. Couple of other accidents, westbound 275 at 5 Mile, Asbury Road at Woodford Road, Banning west of Coleraine, and then there is a broken down car in the ramp from southbound 71 to Donaldson. The rest of Tri-State, the interstates, it's that typical slow traffic. Even on Ronald Reagan heading eastbound towards 75, you're slow from West Galbraith all the way from Coleraine over. So, you know, it's pretty
and here's your weather. It's going to be windy, rainy, and there's a storm on the East Coast.
It's going to rain cats and dogs.
And we got to give Bill and his wife Oracle status for coming to the Halloween party dressed as a very handsome and beautiful pirate.
They're very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the 2 Captain Morgan women? Jack Stecklin's date and Robin Golden. And Rob Golden's outfit was great, too.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was, but he was good.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was, but you don't know what it was. So
it was like a I don't know, like a character maybe from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, Mad Hatter or something.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter maybe. Yeah, I think he was the Mad Hatter.
I think so.
He's into that kind of thing. I'm not, but he is, so we'll let him off the hook. McCain speaking of Powell's testimony, how it began our incursion in Iraq. All I can say is that General Powell, you disappoint us, and you have harmed your legacy even further by defending what has clearly been the most feckless foreign policy in my lifetime. All right, McCain, I don't like you, but good, well said, done on that one. Good, well said, done on that one. Did you hear about this little controversy? And I don't know if it's true or not. But there are people making the allegation that good old Barack Obama in the debate had an earpiece. Now, I just wonder, did they check their ears? You know, do you have the guts to check the president's ear? And if the president did have an earpiece receiving help, once again, how big of a freaking cheater is this? Okay, if this isn't true, fine. But if it is true, are you kidding me? I don't know. My buddy Asa Rao says that Snopes.com has checked it out and says it's legit.
I was going to say, he couldn't, in the debate, he couldn't talk about anything without a prompter, so I would think he'd have to have something. He stumbles over everything he says.
By the way, the New York stock market is closed for the traders. It's going to be up online, but not for the day traders. I mean, like the live bodies on the floor. Listen to Class X every morning at 88.9 and 89.1, the new breed of rock. You can also go to ClassXRadio.com, listen live. Also a live simulcast video. You can also go to Class X on Facebook. There's also a Class X app. You can follow me on Bulldog Twitter. That's 3 L's. Also on Facebook and also on the BulldogsNation.com. If you'd like some information about my law practice, you can go to EricDieters.com. You can also email me at eric@ericdieters.com or text me at 859-250-2527. Ideas or anything you want for the show. We always have some fun. Let me see.
They can call us, too. You know, they can call us at 513-201-8891.
Yes.
You know, we need to get them.
513-201. I got that memorized after that marathon. I gave that number out so much. 513-201-8891. Maybe the underboss will call and give us a full report.
Mm-hmm.
Large amounts of nails were thrown in a parking lot at a Tea Party rally. Can you imagine if the Tea Partiers did that to them? You know what? Somebody told me this was like Bulldog Day, but I looked all over the internet, and I didn't see anything that confirmed that this was a Bulldog Day. You know? So I'm not going to go with Bulldog Day when it's not necessarily
when you're
Bulldog
not really
Day.
sure. We need to, I'll Google it.
That would be irresponsible. That would be like Colin Powell going out there.
They say it's the 16th of April through the 18th, so you have your weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I have another high-profile case. Imagine that. Do you all remember the story of Michelle Jackson? No. Michelle Jackson is the Indiana Dearborn County Corrections Officer accused of having sex with somebody that she monitored in their home, okay? This was on CNN. This was on Willie. This was on the local news, so forth and so on. Well, guess what? She wants to fire her lawyer and hire me. Why? Because she's completely innocent, and her lawyer, who hasn't done a darn thing and charged her plenty of money, has not allowed her to speak out. Why would a lawyer not let her speak out to defend herself and her reputation? She's lost her job, and she's completely innocent. And I believe her 100%, by the way. And it's like, are you kidding me? So any of you news folks listening, 859-250-2527, or eric@ericdieters.com, if you'd like to interview Michelle Jackson from Dearborn County, who's innocent of these charges, and the prosecutor's basically going to get a letter from me which says, dismiss the charges or lose and waste everybody's time. That's the way I roll. That's the way I roll.
You've got several. How many big cases like that do you have right now?
I got about freaking 15 of them. And I love it. It motivates me. It fires me up. By the way, Kentucky saved grandparents' rights. You still have rights, but you've got to prove that you have a real involvement in the child's life that would be important for the child, or else it would hurt to harm the child. I can tell you 2 people that could do that is my wife and I. Because we are very, very active in our grandchildren's lives, particularly my wife.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, we love our grandkids, just like anybody loves their grandkids.
There's a lot of great grandparents out there. That it would be hard.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's better for us than a daycare to watch.
Oh, yeah. So does Mary watch the kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Twice a week.
Oh, that's awesome. My mother-in-law used to watch my kids. I never paid a babysitter.
Really? And they walk in that, Riley walks in the house and say, Mimi, Mimi. Just loves her to death.
How old, 2?
Mimi, and I'm Pop. She says, Pop. You talk about melding. She's going to go through her life saying, Pop. Yes, what do you want? You want a new car? You're 16, you need a new car?
Okay, honey.
You're getting married, you want a house? What do you need?
Yeah, but you've got a lot of kids that haven't even started having babies yet. So,
yeah,
my gosh, what are you going to do when you have 20 grandkids?
Yeah,
we're going to spoil them all.
10 years from now.
20 years from now.
We're going to spoil them all. That's what we're going to do.
I mean, how many total do you have? 5?
I have 5 children. God bless us. We did have 6. Yesterday was a little bit of Mary did great. It was a little sad day because not having Corey there was heavy on her mind. You know, you're getting a family picture and Corey's not. But you ought to see these pictures. We're posting them on Facebook.
I think I saw one of Cam.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really good pictures. And you know what? Every family does it. I mean, we're not different than the other family. You know, I want to stress with everybody, we're not saying, "Ooh, look at our perfect little family." Yeah, we're not a perfect little family, but we took a good picture.
You know what?
Was Cole there?
But I can tell you this. Yeah, okay. I can tell you this. Our family has, gotten closer and closer the last couple years, and everybody's getting along very well, and we're a fun family.
They're all growing up.
We sure enjoyed the Halloween party together.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a song. Hey, Class X purists. Here's a Journey song that people might like better than Meatloaf's song.
Oh, my.
When we come back, I'm going to tell you how the government and you, the taxpayer, are financing the drug trade in this country. This is going to blow your mind. And guess what my source is? A DEA agent on Class X Radio. This is Journey. Big wheel in the sky. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Before I get rolling, I want a traffic report because when I get rolling,
you roll.
I get rolling.
That's right, you do. And you roll a little faster than the traffic does. But then again, it is 8:30, so hopefully it'll start getting better. Northbound 75 at Mitchell, that traffic is slow. You're backed up all the way back to Hopple in the northbound direction. Southbound, still from Cincy, Dayton, kind of on and off your brakes there, on down to 275, and then the heavier traffic there, Laughlin on down to Paddock. A couple of accidents. Edwards at Marbret Avenue, there's an accident there. And let's see, they're cleaning up the one. They've cleared the one on Asbury, Banning, and Pippin, so that's good news. There's another accident on Vine Street around Galbraith. And there was also an accident on 275 westbound. It's on the shoulder, but that's right around 5 miles. That is just slow just a little bit in that area. So, you going to start rolling now?
Yes, we're going to start rolling.
Okay.
And I want everybody to know that we're going to play a deep Bruce Springsteen track next. You know what we ought to do, really?
What?
Every morning, we ought to play a Bruce Springsteen and an AC/DC song.
I think that'd be a good thing.
We could do that.
I mean, come on, man. And, of course, George Harrison. You know, I was like this is kind of cool. Bulldog Nation responded. I said, okay, let's pick a different song out to close every. Bulldog Nation said, no, we need George. So we're going to stick with
your thing, yeah.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. I just find this incredible. Everybody knows that I am filed lots of lawsuits against Dr. Scheer relative to the prescription drug case. I think we represent like 5 individuals who died, the estates, and there's more that died that we're probably going to have. In addition to that, we filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of all those people that were treating with him at the time he lost his license, that he had on narcotics. And some of these stories are beyond incredible. So, I have a source, which will remain anonymous, that I've had some friendly conversations with. And you know what? It is amazing. Do you know, and let's use Kentucky as an example. Everybody knows that Kentucky's had a prescription drug problem, Eastern Kentucky in particular. All these prescription drugs coming in and people are selling them. Well, I'm going to tell you two things that are going on across this country right now that is going to blow your mind. Now, if you are living on Social Security or Social Security disability or unemployment, guess what some of these people are doing? They take their government check, they buy drugs, prescription drugs on the street, and resell them for a profit. Federal taxpayers and federal tax dollars funding illegal prescription drug trade. It gets better. Here is a huge problem. People are signing up for college, getting grants and loans, let's say for $5,000 for this or $10,000 for this, dropping out, using that money to buy a bunch of drugs, sell the drugs, pay the loan back, repeat, do again, rinse, rewash. This is another byproduct of our federal tax dollars being spent in entitlement programs and wasted. The taxpayers are funding drug trade across the country. This is widespread. This is not isolated. And I have had it verified by a very good, solid soldier on the front lines. A great human being who I consider my friend. We have a caller. We have Chuck the Underboss is calling in. This is Caveman.
Good morning.
Caveman, give us a full report on the Halloween party and the Godfather.
It was awesome. The Godfather was dreaming on the way home.
You had to take the Godfather home. What was he dreaming?
I don't know. He said it was a good dream, but he was like humming Led Zeppelin songs on the way home.
How do you hum Led Zeppelin?
Looking like he was dancing in his dream and everything. Oh, it was interesting.
By the way, this is a funny.
Serving though. He was on another world. I'm on a stakeout right now.
Good. A stakeout?
Yeah. Who's on a stakeout?
Good.
Drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes.
He's on a stakeout.
He's on a stakeout.
That's how we roll, man. Where's Chad? What do you got, Chad? Where's he directed?
We're rendezvousing here in about 20 minutes.
All right.
Rendezvous.
I think I'm the only lawyer that's got 2 full-time private investigators. Why? Because we like to investigate. Let's investigate some of our enemies, Chuck.
That's what we're doing right now.
Well, Chuck, thanks for the call, and you were great as Caveman. And how funny was it? Next year, we're going to judge the contest in the middle of the party instead of the end. We went up and told the drunk Robert Plant, please play Led Zeppelin and end so we can do our contest. They did not want to leave the stage.
Get the lead out.
Yeah, get the lead out.
You introduced.
Yeah, maybe we will. See what they're doing. I'm being serious, Chuck. Let's see what they're doing the first Friday in October next year, and let's book them.
Man, that's great. We got to have an annual Bulldogs Halloween bash. It's going to be great every year.
Yep. You might need to turn it into a fundraiser.
We ought to have a summer bash, too. That's what we need Led Zeppelin for. We need to have a field party on Charlie Dieter's farm like the good old days.
That's exactly.
Everybody's already asking, where's the Christmas Halloween bash for Bulldogs?
Well, if I settle,
you know how to throw a party.
We got to settle another big case before we have another party, man. But maybe we will have a Halloween party, and then we'll have a spring party, and then we'll have another party. Well, Chuck, get back to work. Thanks for calling in.
Yep.
Full report from the underboss. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we now play a deep track. And you know what we're going to play this for? Because Bruce Springsteen is supporting Barack Obama, and Bruce Springsteen is losing. Barack Obama is cornered. We play this for Barack Obama because we got him trapped on Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog. on Class X Radio, having a good old time. And before I get rocking and rolling again, I would like to ask this question. And this question is, what's the traffic?
What's the traffic? Eased up a lot out there. Still dealing with an accident westbound 275 right at 5 Mile, but I just went through all the cameras. Still just a little slow through the cut and the hill, pretty much just from Kyle's to the bridge, but the rest of the traffic seems to have cleared out, so they're rolling right along like you are this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if November 6th is the election, we now have 8 days until the election. And we're down to the final week. And, you know, when you're dealing with a situation where you have an incumbent, such as Barack Obama, and you have a challenger in the name of Mitt Romney, it's really simple in your analysis. Your analysis has got to be, okay, what's the record of the guy holding the office? And what's the probability and likelihood of him doing what kind of job the next 4 years? And should you change because the direction you're going in is not the right direction and we have to go in another direction? And does the challenger have the ability to take us in that direction? I mean, it's really that simple, isn't it? I mean, come on. I mean, if you look at a president, if he's doing a good job, you want to keep him in office. If he's doing a bad job, you got to change. It is inconceivable to me how anyone can analyze Barack Obama's presidency on any level, foreign policy, domestic policy, what he maybe would do, a probability be able to do in the next 4 years, his work ethic, the trust issue, on and on and on. And I mean, it's like a no-brainer call. And you're not going to tell me a guy like Mitt Romney, who ran Bain Capital, saved the Olympics, was governor of a state, you know, he's got the qualifications to be president of the United States. He's got stature, he's got class, he's a good man. Has he changed his opinion on some issues? Sure he has, but so's everyone else. And as you know, I've always said, if you change your mind on an issue, sometimes that's good. Especially when you go being right on or wrong on an issue to right on an issue, like pro-life or something like that. But it's time, folks, for all of us, and I think this is the only reason, I mean, come on, it's the only reason it's even close in Ohio, is that you have the combination of those people connected to the auto industry up in northwest Ohio in the Toledo area, and you have individuals in the inner cities of Cleveland, the strong Democratic area, and also throughout the state because of the Senate bill that went down to defeat because of Kasich coming on strong, making the unions mad. The unions had the referendum and voted it down, and you had a backlash against Kasich on this union issue, and he totally mishandled it. So if Ohio union workers, if you're a cop, you're a fireman, you're a teacher, you're a union worker, and you are going to vote for Barack Obama because of you think that he's a pro-union guy, so you're going to vote for him despite his lousy, lousy record, despite what he's done relative to this Libyan Benghazi issue, which is just lied, plain flat out lied. Well, you know what? Shame on you. Shame on you. And I'm putting my vote where my mouth is. I'm a plaintiff's attorney. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I bet you 95% of those kind of lawyers are voting for Barack Obama. Not me. Not me. Because I'm a paradox. I'm also a businessman, like many of you small businessmen. I'm also a libertarian, like many of you libertarians. I'm conservative, like many of you who are involved in the Tea Party. At the same time, I got a big heart. I got a huge heart. I represent people that get shot by cops. I represent people that get hurt in accidents. I represent people that get hurt at work. I represent people that are charged with crimes. I mean, I'm about as open-minded and across the breadth views as you can get. Raised on a farm. Great education. Got farm boy in me. But yet I can put a suit and tie and go anywhere in the country and handle myself with couthness and class. I can walk into a corporate boardroom. I can walk into a federal courthouse. And I can also go help put in hay. I can go into the hood and hear guys say, hey, Bulldog, how you doing? Fist pump them and jive with them. I can. I see it all. And I'm telling you, my dear old dad had a great saying. He could look at someone who was an alcoholic and say, you know what, son? He has some redeeming quality. He works hard. He could look at someone who is financially busted and say, you know what? He had some bad luck, but he's a good man who takes care of his family and he works hard. He called it redeeming qualities. Okay? Virtues, as you were. You have to stretch it really, really good to find redeeming qualities that matter in a president for Barack Obama. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, a good husband, and a good father. So was Jimmy Carter. So was George Bush. And they suck too. He doesn't work hard. The guy admitted he was lazy. Our president admitted to everybody he's lazy. You want a lazy president? The president of the United States should work so hard when he walks out of the Oval Office at the end of his 4-year term or 8-year term, he's ready to drop over dead with exhaustion. He's not smart. Come on, his resume, he has no accomplishment. All these people his whole life that have been telling him he's special, my God, what an inflation. You know, Barack Obama has been given trophies, quote-unquote trophies his whole life for honorary mention to make sure he got a trophy. These people that have built him up in his ego world can't believe it. He is a failure. Ohio, you need to set aside your union issue and do the right thing for all of America. I am. I'm practicing what I preach. If I voted for my quote-unquote self-interest, I'd vote for Barack Obama. And I'm not. We're going to be back tomorrow with some radio superbity. Denise, you have any final traffic reports or any blonde moment you'd like to share?
No, we'll skip the blonde moment. And as far as traffic, no. Vine at Galbraith, south of Galbraith, and westbound 275 at 5 Mile. But those two really should be in the cleanup stages.
Jake, what do we have?
Not much.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think I do. Thanks for the party this weekend again.
Yeah, it was fun.
You're welcome. It was fun. We will do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, remember every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow is yours, and I hope November 6th is Mitt Romney's. And guess what? There's a storm, okay? There's a storm on the East Coast. Don't watch the news all day. Well, there's a storm. There's a storm. Enjoy George Harrison, What Is Life. I love you, Bulldog Nation, and I love Class X Radio.